Man, next up on the 515 Real to Real podcast, man, very excited about this segment, Johnny,
Yeah, man.
man. Good friend of ours, filmmaker Cruz Johnson is joining us on the podcast today, man. Cruz, how you doing, man?
Squad, we in here, are we, man? What's up? What's up, family? What's up, Johnny? What's up, Bruce?
What's up, man?
You
How
know,
you doing?
it's time. It's about time. We here. Let's talk.
So Cruz, if you don't mind telling our audience, man, tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, how you got your start, man.
Obviously, I'm from the city. I'm from Birmingham, Alabama. Born and raised, South Side, near the South Town area, all of that. Raised by two good parents, man. So creativity was always the thing for me. Music was my first love, and then film came into the picture. And my passion, man, is to tell our stories, man.
Can you tell us a little bit about how you got your start in filmmaking and kind of just transition to kind of where we are today?
I mean, obviously, going from high school, man, I really had the passion to get into film. I joined the military, did that for 8 years.
Thank you for your
service. Yeah, thank you for your service.
Thank you. We just have to sometimes just step out, and I did, and went overseas, went to Kuwait. But before that, I just left from Art Institute of Atlanta, did that for a year, Art Institute of Atlanta, and came back to Birmingham, and I was just so hungry to find a community to support me, a way to get in the film, just to be behind the camera, get in front of the camera. Met this wonderful lady named Shelly Lane. Shout out to her. She pointed me in a direction. She said she knew about a guy. She knew about someone who just took his leap of faith and started his company. And then after that, she pointed me in the direction to Bruce Nitz. And in that moment, I felt like I was finally home. There were a few things that I learned in the process, but yeah, I just think that was the start. I started from, super green guy who was just hungry.
Yeah, I got to say this about you though, Cruz. Like when you first came around, you said it. You were really, really green.
We're gonna talk about some more green moments.
We'll save that for another project. We'll say that for another project.
We can touch a little bit of it. I am not ashamed.
We will. But I do want to say this, man. You like when I say you were green, like it was like one of those situations where, like you had equipment, like you had a camera or whatever, but didn't necessarily know how to use it. And the one thing that I said was like, just learn your equipment. And what you did, you went to the lab, you studied, you were really hungry because we've been approached by a lot of people who've come around who like, we'll see them a couple of times and then they're gone.
Yeah.
But you were very persistent. You were like very hungry and ready and willing to learn. And that's exactly what you did. Like even when you left and went overseas, you still stayed in contact with us. You were still learning and everything. And when you came back, you were a completely different animal.
Yeah, man. I can remember getting calls early mornings, late nights, looking at my phone and seeing it said Cruz Johnson. And I'm like, this man in a war zone.
Fighting for his life.
Fighting for his life, fighting to protect other people. And he's calling us saying, hey, man, when I get back home, I'm going to be ready. I'm studying, I'm taking my time. I was like, man, Cruz, look, we're going to be here when you get back, prayerfully. I said, man, you just stay safe.
Right.
You stay prayed up, and we'll see you when you get back, man. Don't worry about none of that stuff right now. And he would say, no, Mr. Johnny, I'm learning. He used to call me Mr. Johnny.
Hey, man.
Now I got to go get his coffee.
Johnny, you're hilarious. Nah, man, look, one thing about family, they're going to be there and they're going to see you from the beginnings, and they're going to, they're going to be the ones that seen you when you was crawling and you know what you were doing. I wasn't afraid to make a mistake. I wasn't afraid to fall because that taught me how to really keep going. Some people are embarrassed to take those bumps and sad, and especially now, people are scared to lose, people are scared to fall, but that's the way you're going to get in this business. You're going to fall a couple times. That's how you get back up.
Exactly. And that's one thing, I apply not only to you, but just to my life. And like, I think anyone can apply it. Like, no matter if you fail or whatever mistakes you make, just learn from them and move on. That's
Facts.
life. You know, we all just, you know, we all make mistakes and we all do things that, you know, that we're not happy about. But the thing is, you learn from them and you move on. And that's one thing about you. You were always willing to continue to learn and move on. And so now I wanna kind of switch up and kind of go to where you are today, man, because like I said, it was like a great shift from, you know, I'm glad Johnny brought that up so that people could just kind of see the beginning.
Yeah, totally.
Leading up to kind of where you are today. I really want to get into your new project that you have that you worked on, Mourning Due. Can you tell us about Mourning Due and how that all came about?
Yes, for sure. I just felt pain. And, you know, me also being in the military, understanding PTSD, understanding the mental process behind things when it comes to our mental health. I just wanted to get a story that I can use military, because we always think PTSD, first thing we think about is, you know, military situation. And I wanted to compare that military pain to what's happening now with all these mass shootings and after shooters that's happening now, which made me come up with a character named Mike Huffman. This is a guy who was a Desert Storm veteran. He's dealing with different pain in his life, lost his whole family due to him suffering through PTSD. And in that moment, he hears about a mass shooting that happens in Birmingham, which just, you know, sparks it again, sparks all those feelings, bring all those thoughts back that he dealt with when he was in, you know, overseas. You get these multi-layer moments, characters. You start questioning who's really struggling with mental health. Not just Mike. Is it Mike? Is it this guy who's sitting down at the diner? Is it the waitress dealing with her thing? You know, you got everybody who's stressed. And I guess the theme of this story is you can never judge the book by its cover, and because you never know who's really suffering at the end of the day.
Man, yeah, man, we're proud of you, man. That project was a blessing for us to work on, man. And just to see that project come to fruition, I remember the phone calls, man. Hey, I got this project.
Yeah.
You know, do you want to help me write it? I said, no. I said, no, you write it. I mean, and the reason I said no is because the way you explained it to me, you were so passionate about it. I could have done it some justice, but I wanted you to be able to tell that story the way you wanted to tell that story.
Yeah.
I didn't want my influence on the dialogue or anything to be a part of that. I wanted you to write that story, and you did, man. You did an amazing job with that.
Thank you, Johnny, for number one, to allow me to, like you said, man. You said, bro, I ain't writing that, bro. You pick up that pen. That's the same feeling as what Bruce did when he said, pick up that camera. White balance. You feel me? You're like, pick it up. If you want to do it, go get it. Yeah. And it's always been a part of me to just, all right, let me pick it up, let's go.
That's right.
That's right.
Yeah, speaking of that, man, so what is next for you? What you got coming up?
I'm now launching my company that's going to be the next move. It's Quarter Water Productions, Quarter Water Films. Super excited for that. Mourning Due was definitely like one of those launching pads for me to write. And my next project, Pavement, it's going to be something to really shake up the game. I can't wait for y'all to see.
Man, well, hey, look, man, we just want to thank you for coming on the show.
Yeah, bro.
Being a part of, you know, the 515 Real to Real podcast. And just, man, we just both want to say that how proud we are of you.
Yes.
To see your growth, to see where you are today. And, man, we're both excited to see kind of where you're headed, man.
No, for real, this is an honor to be a part of this team, to be a part of this family, number one. The growth that we are in and the conditions that we're doing here is huge in the community. And this podcast is going to touch so many people. It's going to be able to be a voice for generations of filmmakers that's out there. And so if y'all want to tap into the real to real podcast, is it, man. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Thank y'all. Let's keep going. We got our stories and everything we got to do. Let's do it. You know how we do. Say, let's do more. Always.
All right, man. We appreciate you, brother.
Hey, appreciate you.
Cruz Johnson, everyone.